Last hour, we have seen more police tape go up around that trailer where they did find the little girl unresponsive, taking her to the hospital.
We've been in situ all afternoon as police investigate this as a homicide. This is all happening on 44th Avenue, a rural area just south of the Alachua County line. Deputies are preparing to actually search that trailer.
Yeah, and we think that's partially why they expanded their scene just by a little bit, stretching this new line of tape. That's in the focus here. There's a lot of children's toys out in front of it, especially ones with a lot of pink and light blue, signifying a little girl is there.
Details in the timeline in the of a 17-year-old Hemet girl. A 51-year-old man is now in custody in connection with the death of T'neya Tovar.
So there's a man here out of Florida who thought he was running a daycare center, but unfortunately, one of the children that was there ended up passing away because of him. And not only that, it happened in front of the other kids. One of them had to be a witness. Now, when you hear this story, I want you guys to decide if the mother should be charged too. I'm going to give you guys the details. Plus, there's another woman who was missing. While everybody was focused on Nancy Guthrie, this woman was missing, but there's some unfortunate news. I'm going to give you who this woman was and what happened. Stay tuned. Fugitive TV. Welcome to Fugitive TV. I am your host, Ray Marcel. We take a look at cases of unsolved mysteries, cases of missing people, or any sort of case I think that might need a different point of view or perspective on, because I was once a fugitive on the run from the law myself. I did it for 15 years, lived in different countries, different cities under different names, turned myself in. Now I'm doing pretty good in life, and I'm trying to motivate the next person that, hey, they can do good in life as well too. So what I'm going to talk about now is an unfortunate, very sad situation, okay? Out of Florida, actually not too far from where I live, okay? Not too far. There is an individual, a man who was watching some children. Now, I don't know if he was trying to do a daycare center or anything like that. And I'm going to get into the daycare center further about some speculation and reports that I saw and heard. Well, police were called to a scene to this mobile home park, or it was a mobile home, and there was an irresponsive, or I should say an unresponsive child that was there. They took the child's name is, I believe, Paisley Brown. Okay. So they took Paisley to the hospital. Unfortunately, Paisley did not make it. Paisley passed due to the wounds that Paisley suffered, is what I saw.
Now, they have not given us much information as to the age of that girl, the specific age or anything else about her. They have also not shared any information about the man that is now being questioned in connection to her death. People at this place, there were other people here, they told deputies when they showed up that the man harmed the girl. We don't know exactly how or what happened, but this is what they told us just a short time ago.
Right, so at this point, it was not a shooting or a sighting. Based on the information that we've gathered thus far, we're still trying to determine the cause of the victim's death.
The individual, the person, his name, I believe is pronounced Jeroen, okay? Jeroen Coombs. Now, when I was looking at the news media about this, they never told us who the individual was. They never really even said who the girl was. They never said any of this. I had to go and find this out for myself through social media, because watching the news media, they weren't telling me much of anything. So I went and found this out, on my own, combing through social media. Supposedly what happened is he was watching a bunch of kids, and for some reason he had her tied up or bound. And while she was bound, he was striking her. And that was the reason why she passed, okay? What makes it even worse is he did this in front of other children. Now, I was trying to figure out why he's got these kids there. What's going on, okay? Because I hate to say it, but he's black, and the kid this happened to is a white kid. So I'm like, I don't think this is his child. Which it could be, it still could be. But I'm like, I don't think this is a child. The news media just was not saying enough. So I went on social media, come to find out the reports was on social media that the child belongs to his girlfriend. Okay. So his girlfriend, I'm not going to give her full name, but JK, supposedly was out while he was watching her child, Paisley. And he was watching some other kids too. Now, I did see some reports that he would claim that he had a daycare.
Deputies got a call about an unresponsive at a home along Northeast 44th Avenue in Citra, which is in northern Marion County. They say when they got there, Jeroen Coombs was trying to leave. He was taking care of several children at the home, ranging from ages 1 to 9 years old.
Well, the supposedly daycare that he's supposedly running. Now, like I said, I don't know if this is true or not, but there was some comments that were made online with some people. So one comment said, I'm going to read this to you. I paid him to babysit my daughter. Something told me to go get her. And when I did, she had bruises and marks all over her, including her neck. I saw that I had reported him to DCF. They didn't do, and she says, they didn't do anything. And now a 3-year-old has been unalived by him. This system is so flawed. Yep, I'm seeking legal counsel. Okay. This was from a comment online that was made under one of the posts, one of the news articles. And then another lady commented, have those two been together for a while, or did you know him before? And, it was just comments going on. Now, this lady did show a picture of her little one with bruises on her. So she did actually show a picture in the comment. I'm not going to show you guys the picture, but she did show a picture of, a little one with bruises on him. So one person commented, he told me he had a home in daycare or an in-home daycare. I came and saw him and watched how he interacted with the kids for 3 full days. Before I left my daughter there was no red flags and my baby seemed okay. I was working and something told me to stop and go pick her up. When I picked her up, she had marks all type of bruising all over her and was so lethargic. So you have these people who are coming out and saying that, hey, this happened with my child. And there's people saying they reported, but I guess nothing happened. Well, that could explain the reason why these other kids are there. Maybe because people trusted him. I'm not sure, but it could make sense unless these other kids are siblings. They're not saying that. So unless these other kids are siblings, that could be a possibility. But I figure I read you what these comments are saying about people. Now, before we get into the mom, JK, we're going to get into the past of Jeroen. Now, for you guys that know me, I do background checks. I run background checks on everybody. Even if you're the victim, I'm going to run a background check. And I might not say what's on your background, but I have to see what type of person you were in order to see exactly what happened. You have to. That's the way it works. Well, Jeroen was not a victim. He needs to be locked up for what this happened. Don't get me started. But so I did a background check on him. This guy already has battery charges, okay? Battery, striking, was on probation, violated probation. He already had charges of assault on his record already. Now, yes, people can change. They can, right? But if it's just continuously going down, something got to give. Something has to. All right. Well, so I checked that out. He already has some questionable red flags. Now, like I said, him and the baby's mom were together. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. I went and found her Facebook. There's pictures of them together and pictures of them with the baby. They're all together. So I know for a fact, they were together. It's on social media. So this is out of Citra, Florida. This is Marion County. Sheriff deputies arrested a man for what he did to, now I have to be careful with certain words. YouTube does not like the M word, so that's why you have to use unaliving. They don't like certain words against children or kids or anything like that. they'll flag your video, they take it down, and your video doesn't spread. So until I have a ton of subscribers, there's certain words I have to watch. So just for you people that are wondering, I'm just letting you know. So it says sheriff's deputies arrested a man for abusing, and of course I told you Paisley, resulting in her passing in Marion County on Thursday. Marion County Sheriff deputies arrested Jeroen Coombs, 32, on charges of aggravated sea abuse. They say additional charges are forthcoming, meaning that there could be more charges coming, right? Once they get all the evidence. So then it says deputies responded to a home on Northeast 44th Avenue in Citra around noon. They found Paisley Brown, then they give her age. Unresponsive Paisley was taken to the hospital where she did not make it. Now that is Jeroen. That is a picture of Jeroen. Okay. He is currently in custody right now. And he's probably going to be there for a while because I don't know if you guys know, but Florida does not play. Florida, you have to serve 85% of your time no matter what. They pretty much don't have a parole here. So he's probably not getting out anytime soon. It says investigators say Coombs was home alone with multiple children on Thursday morning. So here you go with the multiple children. Like I said, so I don't know if the rest of these kids were siblings or if it was what these comments I told you about of him trying to run a daycare. So with multiple on Thursday morning. And then it says one of them witnessed and told investigators he heard Coombs strike Paisley. Okay. So one of them had to be a witness and say, hey, I heard Coombs strike Paisley. Like he heard the strike. All right. At about 11 a.m. Now, this is when I want you guys to make a decision. Okay. About the mother. And I'm going to give you a little more details as well. About 11 a.m., he told Paisley's mother that the girl was unresponsive. Okay. So 11 a.m., he didn't call 911. He called the mom, who was JK, and said that Paisley was unresponsive. A 911 call, ladies and gentlemen, was not made until 40 minutes later. So 40 minutes passed, almost a whole hour, okay, until a 911 call was made. When speaking with detectives, Coombs initially claimed Paisley was groggy when she woke up that morning. Detectives confronted him about the bruising and binding marks on her, and he admitted to causing. So he admitted what he did, okay? He told investigators that he bound her hands with a rope and her legs with tape. So this poor Paisley was bound with tape and rope. He claimed he dropped her on the floor and admitted to striking multiple times. This is very, very sad. I'm going to tell you what I think about this lame, in a bit. But Coombs said he took it too far. He also said he was too scared to call 911. Detectives will work with the 5th Judicial Circuit State Attorney's Office to bring additional charges. All right. Now, let's get into JK, the mom.
Channel 9's Nick Pampantonis live at the sheriff's office. Nick, there are a lot of questions about how much the girl's mom knew about this abuse.
Yeah, this was a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. He, in this case, was the primary caregiver in the family while she had the full-time job. Deputies telling us, though, that some of the abuse the other night happened when she was in the house.
He said, I went too far. I took it too far. And we couldn't agree with him more.
Was the mother aware that her child had been bound, and was the mother also aware that he had delayed in calling 911 when she became unresponsive?
That's a great question. Did the mother know this was going on, that the child was being bound up and bound overnight, from what we can tell?
Was she home the night prior to this? Did she leave home that morning?
We're being told that she left that morning to go to run some errands. Did she know? And was she aware of this? These are things that will, I believe, pan out in this investigation.
So she's under investigation?
Absolutely.
So a call was not made until 40 minutes later. He called the mom first, and then 911 was called 40 minutes later. So I don't know exactly what the mom, JK, was doing, but I can tell you what somebody said online what the mom was doing. So there's a post here. And this individual says at first, they actually felt bad for JK. They actually felt bad for the mom. I mean, who wouldn't, right? You hear about this on the news. And like I said, if you look at the news, okay, the news is not telling you everything. So, and if you know this individual, like the lady, the mother, you are going to feel like, oh my God, you know, but this is when the light shines. All right. This person says, but after an investigation, I don't feel bad at all. You knew exactly what was going on, and you left this man with her. And the reason why she's saying you knew is because, come to find out, I guess in the past, this is not the first time. I guess poor Paisley has been struck before. Now, they don't say by who, but I've saw comments that says this is not the first time. All right. Says you knew, and yet you left this man with her. And you were out getting your nails done while your daughter is with this man. Okay. So not only did you choose your nails over her, all this I love my man post, but yet he unalived Paisley. Okay. So she's out doing her thing. Now, I don't know if she was getting her nails done, but we do know she's out. She wasn't home. And I saw another post from another person say, yeah, she was out. Okay. But the man calls her. Why didn't she call 911 right away? So if this is if you're the mom or even the dad, and somebody calls you, hey, your little one's not responding, unresponsive, what are you going to do? Of course, you're going to rush home. Of course. But are you not going to call for help? So why didn't she call 911? Was she scared? What was she scared of? And is this true? This has been going on before. So this is what I mean by, should the mom face charges as well? Now, as I know of right now, I don't know if she's facing any charges. I don't know if she's arrested. I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure they're interrogating her. I'm pretty sure right now she is in that room getting interrogated, because I've been on her Facebook. I've been on her Instagram. I've been in all that. People are tagging her, saying all kinds of things, and she's not responding or even deleting any of it. And everything is still public. So I'm thinking she might be somewhere getting interrogated. I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking. And that's why she can't get to her phone to delete these comments. But the truth is coming out. So with this guy's past that he had, and with people saying, hey, they dropped their kid off with this individual and their kids came back with bruises and scars. They reported him, but nobody did nothing. And not only that, during the news report, I don't know if you guys saw that, but during the news report, somebody said they pulled up to the trailer and they were like, hey, we told you, we warned you about this person. We warned you.
A short time ago, a woman drove up to this house and started yelling at deputies. She said she warned them several years ago that something was going to happen. So that adds another question to the many unanswered at this scene right now that we plan on asking and following up on as deputies release more information and get further towards that investigation.
And yet, law did nothing. Now, I don't like to use profanity on this channel. I don't like to I like to speak proper. But some people need their MFing beat. And I'm pretty sure everybody watching this channel would agree with me. Some people don't need to be walking this earth. They just don't. Some people don't need to be breathing the same air we breathe. Some people just don't. And even when you're locked up, even when you're in jail, you're in prison, there's a code of ethics, okay? Now, a lot of younger people, they don't live by these code of ethics. It's almost going out the window. But for older people, there's a code of ethics, meaning you do not harm, you do not touch anybody who can't defend themselves, meaning no women, anybody that's elderly. I don't care if it's an elderly gentleman, okay? And definitely no children and nobody who's disabled or handicapped. They're all off limits. You do not touch them because they can't defend themselves. So when this man gets locked up, I'm wondering if they're going to put him in general population. I'm wondering if they're going to seclude him, put him in 23-hour lockdown with the cell, and he can only come out an hour a day for a phone call, but maybe by himself or a few other people, and he's not general population. Maybe a guard might slip up and be like, oh, let me put him in general population real quick and just forget. Hey, you didn't hear that from me. But all I'm saying is some people don't need to be around here with us. I'm just stating the fact. I'm sorry I have to get my Nancy Grace on right now and be unfiltered. Well, my condolences go out to the family. My condolences go out to Paisley. She did not deserve this whatsoever at all. I can only imagine what she went through from the description that I just read to you guys. And not only that, what these other kids have probably witnessed or even been through with the same individual. I can only imagine, but I don't want to imagine. My condolences go out to the family. Rest in peace, Paisley.
I have to complete this. If it kills me, I don't care. I have to complete this for T'neya. I need to find justice for her. So I don't care about me right now. I don't care how sick I get, if I lose my voice, if I lose my life, if I lose my heart. I cannot sleep. I cannot rest until I get justice for T'neya. I've been receiving every single tip, every single clue. I've been checking up on everything, so I can't. I have to also thank people for sharing my daughter's story on TikTok, on Snapchat, on Facebook, on all the platforms. I appreciate it so much, because a lot of them didn't know her, but they took it serious and they prayed for her to come home.
All praises to Charles. She's did a great job, and she's doing a great job. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have known nothing.
So this next story, that was the mother of T'neya Tovar. T'neya Tovar, I brought to you guys during the whole Nancy Guthrie thing, which is still going on. I still haven't found Nancy Guthrie, but I think it was like the fourth video or so. I slipped in some people who were missing in the middle of the video, which I'm going to do from now on. Anytime I do Nancy Guthrie, I'm throwing somebody else in the middle of that video. All right. But I slipped in T'neya Tovar, Thomas Medellin, another kid named, I believe his last name was pronounced Jofet. I have to go back and look at that. I believe it's Jofet, which I believe is still missing. And there was another individual. Well, at that time, T'neya Tovar was missing since December 1st. Unfortunately, they found her not all the way. They found just a leg. Okay. They did results and it came back as her leg. So now they're assuming that she's no longer with us. Now the family is trying to figure out what happened to the rest of her. Last we knew when I reported this, she met this man online and went off with him. And that was all I knew. Now there's more information out. There are some questionable things about this that I've even seen some people online raise their eyebrows like, huh? So let me give you the timeline, okay? December 21st of last year, deputies respond to report of, hold on. I'm sorry about that. So December 1st, okay, is she told her mom that she was going out of town, all right, and going to Palm Springs with a man. Now, T'neya Tovar is only 17 years old. That right there I questioned. But December 1st, T'neya Tovar reported missing after failing to return home to Hemet from a trip her family believed was to Palm Springs. She was last seen in Thermal, California, where she reportedly traveled to meet an adult male. All right. December 21st, deputies responded to a report of human remains in Salton City. They located a decomposing human leg in an area of Portsmouth Avenue. Okay, so this is on the 21st. And then early February, agents and Imperial County Sheriff's deputies executed a search warrant at a home and property on Harlequin Court. Then in February 11th through 12th, the Imperial County Coroner's Office and FBI confirmed DNA testing that the leg belonged to her. February 13th, 51-year-old Abraham Feinblum is arrested in his home and is charged with her unaliving after he tried to attempt to flee the SWAT. He tried to jump a fence and did not make it, okay? So he has pleaded not guilty. So let me give you a little bit of the story about this, okay? And you guys let me know, what do you think about this? All right, so she met this man online that I know of back in October, okay? So I don't know exactly why she's meeting this 50, didn't meet her, but knew of him. So I don't know if they met before then, but let me correct that. They knew of each other since October. And what I saw was she met him online, okay? Then December 1st, she decides to go, I guess, meet up with the guy. But then she also tells her mom that where she's going. Like I said, now she's only 17. Now, the mother had her phone location. Her phone location was turned off. Now, her last ping went to this man's address. All right. So the mom and family members end up going to the man's address. So I don't know if they knock on the door or not, but they tell the police, hey, she's possibly here. And I guess the police didn't do anything. I don't know. That some of this is cloudy with this case. There's a couple things that's cloudy. This is just one of them. So I don't know exactly like if the parents knocked on the door. That part I don't know. Well, then as you see, they end up finding her leg, okay? They believe she passed away from a bullet wound because they saw bullet fragments, all right? So that's what they think she passed away from. But like I said, they haven't found the rest of her. They don't know. Well, when the news reported this, when I saw this, they started talking about she was on probation. They didn't say anything, why, or anything like that. I'm like, why are they bringing up her on probation? Doesn't make no sense. I was like, wait, hold on. So I looked into it. She was on probation. She's 17. She was also, I guess, in a not an orphanage. She was in a what do you call it? A foster home. She was in a foster home. And I guess she ran away from the foster home. Now, I don't know why she was in a foster home to begin with. I don't know why she ran away from the foster home, but supposedly her mom knew she ran away from the foster home. But this part's cloudy too. They're not saying if she ran away from the foster home and went to her mom's house, or she ran away and told her mom she ran away and they're going to meet up with the guy. I don't know. Okay.
Was a troubled teen navigating a foster system her family says was failing her. In December, the 17-year-old disappeared after a friend dropped her off at this home on Harlequin Court in Salton City, owned by 51-year-old Abraham Feinblum.
I have to also thank people for sharing my daughter's story on TikTok, on Snapchat, on Facebook, on all the platforms. I appreciate it so much.
T'neya had run away from her foster home in Hemet, but her mother says they remained in close contact until December 1st, when T'neya stopped answering calls and turned off her location app. Her mother says she discovered her daughter was missing when the friend who had dropped her off at the property said she had not heard back from T'neya. Her family reported her missing and began posting flyers across the area. Imperial County Sheriff's deputies conducted several welfare checks at the Salton City home at the family's request. Then on December 21st, investigators were called to a nearby field after a dismembered leg was discovered. Authorities say, though, it wasn't until February 6th that DNA testing confirmed the remains belonged to T'neya. Following 2 search warrants at the property, Feinblum was arrested last week after he attempted to run from the authorities. On Wednesday, Feinblum pled not guilty to first-degree with a firearm enhancement, prosecutors alleging bullet fragments were recovered from the remains. Court records also showing Feinblum had prior arrests, including kidnapping charges that were later dismissed, and a 2016 arrest on suspicion of lewd acts.
Like I said, that information is cloudy. They really haven't gave a clear explanation for that. But no matter what was going on, I was wondering, like, why is she leaving the house or going to go meet up with a man in a different city when she's only 17 years old? If my daughter was telling me she's going to go meet up with somebody in a different city and she's 17, I'm going in the house and I'm coming back with my backpack on and I'm going to say, we all going. We all going. Let's go then. That's me. Who am I though? Just Ray Marcel, host of Fugitive TV. That's all I know. But some people are just wondering, like, how did this happen? Now, I'm not blaming the mother. Don't get me wrong. We would just like to have some clarity on that situation of what took place. Did the mom know and allow her to do that? Because every person's relationship, there's different dynamics in their family and their home, right? We just don't know exactly what was going on. But obviously, this girl had some trouble in her life for her to be on probation, for one, and for another reason for her to be in some sort of foster home. So something had to be going on. So I don't know if she was looking for guidance out in the world or what was going on. But this is what happened with her. She was on the FBI page. So it wasn't like FBI did not know about her. She was on the page. It's just that Nancy Guthrie took up all the spotlight when it came to anybody who was missing. So that could be why you didn't hear about this poor girl and what happened with her. Well, I want to say my condolences go out to this family as well, because nobody deserves, for their loved one, for this to happen to them. They're still out searching for her, or I should say the rest of her, unfortunately. So they're trying to figure that out. And the guy, Abraham, who got charged for it, hey, hope he gets put in general population too. But if you've heard of any of these, please let me know below. What do you think? Do you think both mothers are responsible for this? The first mom and this one? Let me know what you think. All criticism in this community and on this channel is fair criticism. So let me know what you think, okay? Let me know what city, state, country you're watching this from, because you guys been I see people from Denmark, Scotland, South Africa, all over. I haven't seen China yet. I'm still waiting, but I've seen all over, okay? Please comment, like, subscribe. And not only that, I got the Fugitive TV merch below or to the side, depending on what device you're watching. And not only that, I also have the membership, okay? So the membership is for, basically, I do members only episodes with updates on cases and things like that, all right? So please like, subscribe, share. Take care of one another, okay? Look out for one another. Watch out for your surroundings. If you have anything in your area you would like me to cover and you don't feel it's getting coverage, or you think you need a different set of eyes, please let me know. Ray Marcel at Fugitive TV. I'm out.